Hey everybody, it's Jordan the Urban Outlander. Thanks so much for stopping by. It is the finale of season 5. But I thought I would bring my wee pocket Jamie, put this on for both symbolic and metaphorical reasons. Jamie's gonna hold me from behind. I'm sorry. First, subscribe and leave a comment. It's the final episode of this season. I gotta know what your thoughts are. I gotta know how you felt. Crying, screaming, in tears, happy tears, sad tears, lots of tears, or shock and horror. Jamie and I wanna know. And I could try to do a Scottish accent for you, but I will spare the both of us that embarrassment. We've arrived. It is episode 512, Never My Love. I don't know that song, but I do now. And if I ever hear that song again in a non-Outlander context, you best be believing it will conjure memories. Jamie's got to sit right here. He's going to stand right there. This episode opens with a recap. Non-verbal recap a la Westworld. I don't know if Westworld was the first to do it, but I noticed that's what they do. I see Outlander ripping a page from it. And it's effective. It's dramatic. It's like set yourself up, buckle in, because it's gonna get real. Claire is going through some trauma. I'll get to that afterward. And so she's escaping into this dream-like alternate reality dreamscape, right? I know, there's so many things going on in this dreamscape. Can we just first talk about Jamie in that leather jacket? This is the only time we're ever gonna have our fantasy Jamie like time traveling to the modern 20th century. So let's just like eat it up as much as we can. Jamie's in this fabulous jacket, and I actually really love the costume choice of that being the only real like modern 20th century piece of clothing that he's wearing, because underneath that is his like classic long-sleeved billowy, making sure we can see a little bit of his chest, and then the nice like wool pants there. I thought it was just so good. And if you didn't know, Outlander has a new costume designer this season, Trisha Beggar, who I think has done a fabulous job. Although, wasn't it totally bizarre seeing him in the 1960s? It was so strange. I had moments where I'm like, this is crazy. Let's talk about all the Easter eggs. There is a plethora, a cornucopia, if you will, if we want to stick with the Thanksgiving theme. We got some callbacks to episode 1, season 1. Your shivering is making my teeth rattle. Just the two of us now. All Ep1, baby, season 1. Boom! And then, of course, he's got the blanket, and he's all, like, covering her with it. It's like, yes, this is very familiar to us. Okay, my favorite was the rabbit. What was the rabbit from? Do you know? Season 3, Ep1, when Jamie's dying on the Culloden battlefield, and he sees a rabbit. I knew that instantly when I saw it. I was like very excited to see the rabbit. So Lollybrock wallpaper, I actually can't take credit for recognizing that at all, but I noticed that somebody noticed it. So I'm just adding that one. The dragonfly, the orange from season 2, the vase. I mean, there was like a lot of things being thrown. It was just like, woo, we're just gonna throw all this stuff at you. You're gonna see what sticks and what you notice and what you don't love. And then she is envisioning this like Thanksgiving meal with like Myrta and Jocasta and Fergus and Marsley and the kids. Ian's there, and it's like this great fantasy, right? But it's all very unsettling at the same time. Because I do love how Katrina Balfe didn't say anything, actually, during this entire dreamscape until the officers show up. And then the words that come out of her mouth are no. But everybody's there, and there's no death, there's no missing limbs, there's no blindness. Everybody's whole and happy and healthy and eating the turkey. But Roger and Brianna are missing. And what did you think about Brianna and Roger dying in a car crash, Frank? And I can't talk about the 1960s without bringing up my boyfriend, Frank, because I was waiting for Frank and Candy Sandy to show up for Thanksgiving dinner, because wouldn't that also be another layer of like forgiveness and happiness, that everything turned out for the better and that Frank has moved on and Claire has moved on, but they can all still be together as a family. I'm sorry, I just had to go on that tangent. Oh my God, I really so wish Tobias wasn't busy shooting The Crown to make one little cameo. He always looks so good in the 1960s with his glasses. All right. I felt like them dying in this car crash was a little bit symbolic of her fear of not knowing whether or not they were successful time traveling back. I liked the dreamscape. It was nice. It was a nice respite, quite different and new for Outlander. They've been experimenting with many things this season, and I thought that one worked. Having said all of this, she's dreamscaping while she's going through this horrible trauma. And the only thing I'm really going to say about it is that I am really tired of rape in this freaking show. I'm really tired. Well, let's move on. Brianna and Roger and the case of the broken time-traveling GPS. I didn't buy it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. We just spent an entire episode saying goodbye to everybody, and then home was the 18th century the whole time. Durr. This is when Outlander does their little like, whoop, takes care of that. And it really bothers me because for me, it just doesn't work. A lot of people have opinions on Claire being raped, and there's a lot of opinions on that already. And some may say it was the weakest part of the episode for even keeping it. It doesn't matter if it was in the book. But I also think Brianna and Roger time traveling, but not really time traveling, did not work. Ah! All right. I also liked how characters were sort of dealing with the choices they made and the consequences, particularly with Marsley and Roger. They both kill somebody and they're like, whoa. Do not waste time, Marsley. Stab that fucker, because I could come up with a whole lot of things to do to him. Have you noticed Diana Gabaldon seems to have this fixation with the survivors of these kinds of assaults? They have to deal with the event itself, but then they also have to deal with their assaulters still kicking around and just like seeing their faces again, whether it's over dinner, whether it's in a fabulous French garden in Paris, or Claire having to see him in her surgery for hours. It's just like, why, what is up with Diana like making everybody just suffer through this? And now we just gotta keep seeing these guys' faces all the time. A few other Easter eggs throughout this episode. There were some book quotes being like boom, 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 boom. At the end of the episode when Jamie says to her, I'm gonna botch this a little bit, but stick with me. On the day that we shall part, if I didn't say I love you, it's because I didn't have time. A very famous Jamie quote. So the ending, not a cliffhanger, but the incoming storm, thunder and lightning and rain. Ooh, metaphors and symbolism. There is a storm coming. Oh, I wonder what that could be. That's already been drilled into our minds, not just this season, but the entire 5 seasons. But that last line where he says, how do you feel? And she said, safe. I thought was like a nice ending. And was your interpretation that they had just had sex? I actually thought that when we see them naked in bed, she has finally told him what exactly happened, and that prompts him to say, you're a strong woman. But some people think it's because they just had sex, which sort of further tarnishes the whole trauma and emotional and psychological healing that she needs to do. And anyway, did you have sex, Jamie? Okay. Sam Heughan is so beefy in that final shot. He is so beefy. This is season 1 Jamie. I wish I had a before and after, because season 5 Jamie like wouldn't even fit in these clothes anymore. You get his arm confused with like a bison leg. He's so big and chesty. It's like really distracting. This reminds me, like, why wasn't Lionel just afraid of Jamie? Like, most people are afraid of Jamie and don't really mess with him. But Lionel's stupid enough to kidnap Claire and he doesn't think Jamie's gonna come after him and kill him? Come on. And then in the credits, we have the a cappella theme song, which I thought was a kind of a nice touch to finally hear that damn song after like the colonialization of the theme song all season. So in summary, pretty good finale. I think Dragonfly and Amber, the finale to season 2, still the winner in terms of like best finales. It's my opinion. I don't know what your favorite finale was. Katrina Balfe had an excellent performance. Maybe, just maybe, she will get that Golden Globe. Maybe. And season 6 will come someday. These are my wishes for the next season. One, that it comes much sooner than the fall of 2021. That's my projection, because they're supposed to shoot season 6 this fall, and they generally seem to shoot for like 9 months or so, 10 months. So that brings us into the summer. Yeah, I don't know. If I take a wild guess, I think the earliest is fall 2021. I hope the writers in season 6 can move beyond any sort of rape plots and actually elevate the story and the characters beyond that overused device. Create something more interesting, but still thoughtful, better. I also hope that we're not in quarantine then, and that I will have had a haircut. Let's time travel together now. You guys, it's been a pleasure. Jamie and I are gonna go bake a turkey, and all of our friends are gonna show up. No, they're not. We're in quarantine. We're not supposed to see people, touch people. Never mind. It's just gonna be me and Jamie. How does Claire do this? This season has been one of their strongest seasons, although there are one episode that I really just wish would be banished into the fiery pit of hell and never return. That's the bonnet episode. And I hope that we take this unfortunately, very long Droughtlander, hopefully get out of quarantine, work on Outlander crafts, and continue being obsessed. Keep your spirits up, lassies, Sassenachs. Thanks for watching. It's theUrbanOutlander.com. Check me out on Instagram and Facebook. Like I said, leave a comment, subscribe. And in the meantime, Jamie and I are gonna bid you adieu.